Hey y'all, this is AL Think Madame, and as you can tell by the title, this is the recap for Love and Marriage Huntsville. So, the episode started out with Martell feeling some type of way about the previous night, and he's thinking that he's gonna get on Melody's good side. And I'm just like, y'all were on completely two different pages when it comes to the comeback group. I don't know why you think that getting up early and making breakfast is somehow going to fix that, because y'all already have all kind of compounding situations just overlapping to the point where it's just like, okay, this is too much going on. So he decides, like I said, he's gonna make breakfast. So he did breakfast in bed for her. So, since they don't live together on the same floor, don't sleep together in the same bed, he had to go to whatever floor she's on and deliver the food to her. So her door was closed. He knocked on the door, and she was trying to scramble to hide paperwork. And I'm like, girl, why are you acting like you in your mama house hiding some weed or something? She really was looking like, wait a minute, let me hide the weed from my mama. My mama gonna kill me. I was just like, why is she doing this? Like she had paperwork. She had some custody paperwork that she was looking over. And instead of her just saying as boldly as she says everything else, give me 30 seconds to 1 minute, do not open that door until I say otherwise, she's over here frantic. And I'm just like, girl. Anyway, she just sat up here and hid the paperwork under the bedspread. And I'm just like, okay. Anyway, he come in the room and she's looking like, what's this? And he was like, well, I thought I'd make you breakfast in bed and all that. And Melody already peeps game. She already know. The reason why he doing this is because he think that he gonna get some brownie points, and that ain't how it's gonna work. I don't know why you think a little breakfast gonna do something, one or two counseling sessions gonna do something. No. Y'all have way too many issues. So he, of course, wants to be nosy and wants to know why is it took her so long to allow him to come in the room. And she told him that it was because she was going over custody paperwork. And so he's looking at her like, what? Like, what do you mean? And like, it's like, how do you not know that all this stuff is in play? She's tired. She's told you over and over again she's tired. She's done all this. And he's acting as if he doesn't understand that she apparently means business. You ain't even in the room with her no more. Before, she kept forgiving you and allowing you to just keep going out here and cheating. And y'all was in the same room. She took it a step further and finally kicked you out of the room. She tried to get you out of the house, but you were like, nah, I'm paying all these bills up in here. So why you think I'm about to leave this house and pay the bills here and go to a hotel or get an apartment somewhere and have a mortgage and a lease? Like, why? So he is just like, I don't even understand why this happened. Like, he is really acting dumbfounded as to why anybody would consider this after all the stuff that he's put her through. And because of the level that they are on, because of how visible they are in their community. It's like, this is on public display. Despite the fact that they are on TV now, this is the second season. A lot of stuff has been going on since before they debuted this show. So it's like, okay, this is too much. Y'all's doing a lot. Y'all, anyway, he is just like, look, I want us to be together forever. And she's looking at him like, I don't think you're going to get that. Anyway, y'all, so Derek, Maurice, and Marceau go for a consultation to a doctor's office for vasectomies. So they're talking, they want to know information. The doctor ends up checking all of them separately to see if everything is in order. So if they do decide to get a vasectomy, they can come right in after they schedule the appointment and get it done without any issues. So I'm just like, Lord, y'all is all doing the most. Y'all doing a lot. And it's like, at first they were laughing and joking, but when it got really real for them. When the doctor came in there and he was coming and getting them one by one, and they were going in there and they were getting examined, and they all felt some type of way because another man was touching their junk, as they like to keep on saying throughout this scene. And I was like, okay, whatever. Y'all, it's just the facial expressions. The facial expressions were killing me. Like, I was in here dying. Like, I was like, what did y'all expect? Like, there's no way you just heard of vasectomy. I know somebody told you more than just the word vasectomy, and that you have way less of a chance of being able to procreate when you get that procedure done. Like, it's just, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm tired of y'all. And I mean, it just seems as though Cedric is in a great position because, as Martell stated, he has nothing to do. From what he knows, he has nothing to do with the children that he already has. And that's why he was reading him. And we already see that Marceau does nothing with his children. Like, I never see him do any father-son, father-daughter type of situations. And I cannot. Like, it's like you're there, but you're not. Like, yeah, you out here paying bills, but when you're at the house, you can have your moment to rest. You can rest for a little while. My mama used to allow my daddy to have his moments, but we still interacted with him. We watched TV shows together. We ate dinner together. Like, we were a family. I knew that he was my father. I've been like, oh, that's just the man that, I guess he paid a bill. Because he says all this stuff out loud. So I feel like the kids are going to grow up and associate him with the man that pays some bills around here. I mean, they say he my daddy, but he says that I pay all the bills around here. I'm the head honcho. I'm this, I'm that. And not have an affectionate type of connection with him. I really hope that ends up changing, but I don't know. The way he acted, it ain't gonna go over that well. Y'all, so the doctor told them, look, y'all need to go home, mull things over, see if y'all really want this, because if you don't, the reversal is going to be like $10,000. So yeah, this procedure is, when it's done, you're going to be down for 48 hours. If you want to. I've seen people literally go on their lunch break and go back to work. As long as they didn't have to do any heavy lifting or whatever, they were fine. And I don't know if they're doing anything different nowadays, but he said 48 hours for that, but 7 days of not having sex. So a lot of them are looking like, oh, wait a minute, this is a lot going on. So they're going to have to deal with it. They're going to have to go home, talk to their wives about it, and go on by their business, y'all. So Letitia went and saw a speech pathologist, a speech therapist. I said pathologist, my bad. And in this moment, I realized that she's from Bessemer, Alabama. I thought that she was from Birmingham, or they just lived somewhere in that area because her mama is in Birmingham. And truth be told, Birmingham is nowhere from Bessemer, Hoover, and all that stuff. I have an ex who lives in Bessemer, and I used to travel to see him all the time. And we used to go to Hoover, and we used to go to Birmingham, go to movies and do all this other stuff. So that kind of made me like, oh, okay, Bessemer. I know about Bessemer. I'm very familiar. Like, I used to go enough to where I knew my way around that city. So yeah, pretty sure a lot has changed since I last was there, but I'm very familiar with Bessemer. Anyway, she went in there and she was talking to the speech therapist, and she was explaining to her how the way she grew up and the people she was around, people told her that she had a heavy tongue or something and all this other stuff. And I have noticed that, and I understand what she's saying, because that's something that I am very familiar with people saying about people who kind of are on the cusp of having a lisp, or they do have a lisp, or they do have a heavy tongue, or whatever it was that she said that people say about her. I know a lot of people who talk like her, and they actually speak the exact same way that she speaks, and like her tongue is like right there in her mouth, like her tongue is barely moving. So I mean, I get what she's saying, but I don't feel like she's bad off like that. I get that there are moments where she feels like maybe I should be able to say something else instead of this, because of the way she grew up, like she's already mentioned before. So when she said what her situation was, the therapist was like, well, it just sounds like you're just a product of your environment, meaning the people that you were around, the dialect they were you're used to that. So what she has to do is to learn how to switch it up. And that's what I do. Like, I might be on here, I say y'all, I say, let me see. I'll say certain phrases that normal people who aren't from the South, or just people who I have grew up around my whole life, they are the only ones who understand it. But like the masses would not understand it, because if they're not from the South or otherwise, they don't understand what I'm saying. I feel like even before she actually said it, I felt like she wasn't smart to some degree, because she felt so limited in her speech. And so the therapist had to let her know that her intelligence is not equal to the way that she speaks. So I was glad that she is understanding of that, because she felt like she was unintelligent to some degree, because she doesn't feel like she's up to par as far as her speech is concerned. So I'm guessing that they are going to work with her, and whatever little work she needs, they'll work with her. So anyway, y'all, the men have returned to get the good old snip snip. And they never even showed Sadaric. I don't even know if he really went in or not. They didn't even show his scene, but they ended up showing Marceau going in, and you know they don't use anesthesia. All he did was numb certain areas, and he was kind of like, whoa, I felt that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, y'all. And the doctor asked him if he wanted to see something in particular, and he was like, nope, I'm good, I don't want to see nothing. So his brother Maurice goes in and gets his procedure done. It's like he feels stuff too, but he's taking it exceptionally way better than his brother. And the doctor asked him if he wanted to see. He was like, yeah, I want to see that. He had his phone out and everything. And he really looked up and was like, oh, okay, yeah. And the doctor was explaining stuff. He was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I get that, yeah, okay, I understand that. And so he was like, I just want to let you know that you did so much better than your brother. And he was like, but don't tell him that. Y'all, it was sad. It was crazy. So anyway, y'all, while the men are going to be down for 48 hours and no sex for 7 days, Kimmy has decided that she is going to put on a sexy nurse's outfit. Something that I didn't know, and if she said it before I didn't hear it, she actually is a registered nurse. She has that certificate, registration of certification. She has that certification, and I know back home a lot of women would go and get certification in that or anything closely related to that, because it seemed as though it was oh well, if I can't do these things, let me fall back on that. Or I don't know, I just felt like a lot of people felt like they couldn't do any better. Not to say that there's no need for RNs or whatever, but at the that was just the thing to do. I didn't understand what that was about. Y'all, I don't know how to say it. Y'all, some of y'all might get it. Y'all let me know in the comment section if you understand what I mean. Because at one point in time, when I got out of high school, it was ridiculous. Almost everybody was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do CNA or RN. And they was just throwing, they really were throwing something at the wall and just seeing what would stick. Most of the people that I knew of. So I was just like, do y'all not want to see what you need to tap into, what you're actually here to do? Or you're just like, well, they say they pay decent money, so I'm just gonna go for it. Anyway, y'all, I digress. But yeah, I was like, girl, why are you doing that? Y'all can't have sex. Even though y'all are, in the honeymoon phase, y'all can't even have sex. So why are you dressing up like that? And he can't do nothing about it? I would be mad. He'd probably getting blue balls and some more. And it's why, ma'am? So he tried to make it seem in the confessional that it was helping him. Had her to turn around and everything. It was he did the most. So I was like, okay, y'all do what y'all do. Anyway, Marceau is at the house tearing his mother-in-law's nerves down. So he has had this procedure done, and his wife didn't know, and of course she didn't know, because she probably would have been reading down. So he is calling her, Mama, can you bring me some water? Can you bring me some, what is the type of water? Room temperature water. She done went in the refrigerator. His mama went in the refrigerator and was pouring water out of there. Oh, I don't want no ice or whatever. She doing the opposite of everything he said. Anyway, she read the whole time. She was like, they getting on my nerves. His wife need to hurry up and get home. This don't make no sense. So Tisha is at work. Apparently he did not communicate with her that, that the surgery was coming up and that he was gonna go through with it or whatever. So they didn't even have a final conversation. Like, he literally didn't even say, all right, baby, I got this done. I'm getting this done today. Nothing was said, which I don't understand. Like, okay, anyway, y'all, apparently they have not been on the greatest terms lately, and he's been acting funny and he's been staying out late and all this other stuff. And when she got home from work, him and the mama was getting into it, and she was like, all right, I'm just gonna let y'all talk, but I'm gonna need for you to know that you ain't gonna be making my daughter cry. My daughter is tired of her spirit. So anyway, y'all, they get to talking, because before the mama left, he was like, I had the surgery. You know what it is. And I'm like, she was like, what? Are you talking about the vasectomy? You went and got that done today? Her mom was looking like, excuse me, what? What you mean? So she was like, yeah, you better talk to your husband. You better get it before I do. So she left out the room. So, of course, she's in her feelings. And like I said, they have not been on the greatest terms lately. And I'm just like, what in the world? And she was like they went into this, like, this was a big, long scene, like, for no reason. She went into how he hasn't been paying attention to her. He does not spend time with the kids. I'm like, girl, that ain't new. That's been since day one. Girl, he be humping and bumping and put these babies up in you. And girl, be glad he got that vasectomy. Go ahead and be glad about that, because, but yeah, ain't nothing going on. Like, she was like, I don't understand, because I've told you that I want flowers. I really love flowers, and sometimes I want you to give me flowers. And so he had the nerve to say, well, do you want the mortgage paid or do you want flowers? You got to make a decision. And I'm like, now, good and well, flowers do not cost that much. Pretty sure she's not asking you to spend thousands of dollars on flower arrangements. I really don't think that's happening. So they kept getting going in, it just going back and forth, to the point where her mom was like, look, she done bust in the room. Letitia's mom done bust in the room. She was like, look, I done got tired of trying to overhear y'all conversation. I can't do it no more. This don't make no sense. You need to treat your woman right. If you don't treat her like the way she need to be treated, there's a man out there that will. Somebody want her. They'll take good care of her. And he was like, what you mean? What you talking about? I was like, oh my God. So she ended up taking her daughter somewhere else. It was like, look, don't you sit up here and cry for him. You don't need to be crying over him until you see him laying down in the grave. You don't need to be crying over no man. Her mama be going off. Her mama be going off. I be here for it. Y'all, anyway, they had a conversation. And like, she got really, really emotional, and her mama stood up for her. And she's like, I'm just so grateful that my mama stood up for me and whatever. So they had their one-on-one, and she was like, baby, if the situation ain't working for you, you need to leave, be done with it. Don't sit up in no situation and be miserable. You need to move on. You're a beautiful person. You're a beautiful woman. And anybody will be happy to have you. All of those stuff, giving her all kinds of amazing encouragement. I'm here for it. I'm here for all the encouragement. Here for it. Y'all, later on, Martell and Sadaric met up to eat, and they were talking, and some stuff went down. So apparently, something that we didn't see on camera, Martell went out to what I'm presuming is a club or a bar of some sort entitled The Hideaway. And Melody got word because one of her friends saw him there, and he was conversing with some woman. And he says that the situation is very misconstrued because he did not do anything out of the way. The woman approached him about business opportunity, about building something, and it had nothing to do with sex or whatever inappropriate that she thinks is going on. So Melody then rolled up on him and started throwing shoes at him, and she was very angry. And I was like, okay. Y'all, it done got to the point where she tired in her spirit, to the point where she is like going on social media and making posts and posting stuff that is directly about him. Whether she would say his name or not, everybody already knew you talking about Martell. Okay, girl, you talking about your husband. So Sadaric had the bright idea to say to him, well, since you won't speak to you or really interact with you in person, maybe you gotta, do what she's doing and get on social media. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, you really trying to be all the way in divorce court. Like, I don't understand. Y'all. So, this is what the fool did. Y'all, I'm sorry. I had to get the screenshot and I got to read this foolishness off to y'all about what happened. So, he decided to get on social media, and this is what he posted. I don't know if it was on Instagram or whatever. Anyway, he said, Advice Tuesday, men, make it known to your wife and or girlfriend that she can be 100% late on treating you like the king you are. Ladies, don't wait until he messes up before you start checking off his request. Y'all, it's blurry, so that's why the damage has already been done. Sometimes a woman will get so used to a good man until she stops appreciating his every move and stops seeing his value. I'm talking to the good, and he makes sure to put all capital letters. I'm talking to the good men that takes care of home, great provider, spouse motivator, hands-on dad, disciplinarian, clean the house, cook when necessary, don't drink, don't smoke, love spending and making time to do everything in the world with your significant other and your children, motivate the family to go to church, the head of your home, brings flowers of appreciation in the home, make sure you're not living average, allow her to live where she wants and drive what she wants. I know it has been about women empowerment lately. Men, keep pushing for greatness and allow no one to slow you down. So every word that I put emphasis on, that's what he was putting emphasis on and putting it all capital letters. And I was just like, y'all know Melody saw that right. Melody was in her feelings. She was at work, tired in her spirit. She called somebody and she was crying with these snuffleupagus eyelashes that she had on. I don't know why. It's like, I was just like, why you got these snuffleupagus eyelashes on, girl? Why? Like, I have eyelashes. Like, I have them. I don't feel as though I need to look like this. I don't feel like I have to do this like people be doing the most. I feel like if you are going to do the eyelash extensions or just throw on some lashes, they can look normal, decent. Even if you add a little flair, meaning like a little bit more of a pop, it ain't gotta be like that. Anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. Stuff like that irks my soul. But anyway, she called one of her friends or somebody. She was on the phone and she was like, I can't believe he put this up there. And oh Lord. She really is in her feelings. She started crying and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, he over at his mama house talking to his mama. Her mama tired of him. His mama that got to the point where he was like, yeah, I don't care what you say. I know you still cheating. And so he was like, no, I'm not. She was like, yes, you are. So you plan on marrying your little friend? You love your little friend? These people's mamas be going off and I'm here for it. It's hilarious. They tired. They really like their daughter-in-laws. They be setting it off or they live for the daughter. If the daughter's the one being mistreated or whatever, they be setting it off. But his mama was reading. Y'all. I'm just tired. And he got in his confessional and he was like, well, I hate that my mama feels this way. I'm hurting my heart that my mama feels this way about me. I don't want her to think that about me. So he's basically trying to make it seem like he really is on the right path now. But don't nobody believe him. Y'all, Melody called a meeting. Melody got so tired of her spirit. Literally the same day she still had the same clothes on. Had just had her cry session over in the corner in her office by herself. She called 2 people in the room with her, one of which is a regional manager. And she was like, as of today, I am no longer affiliated with Holden Holt. My name need to be taken off everything. I'm done. And I have my own stuff going on. And if I decide to bring one of y'all in or both of y'all in, hopefully y'all will want to come with me. And the lady who is the general manager, she was like, "Oh, okay, I'm glad to hear that," because she was kind of looking like, "Okay, what about job security? Like, what is going on here? I don't know if this is something that's going to affect the company." And she did ask that. She was acting very professional, so I was like, "Okay." I thought she was going to be like, "What's going on?" She did say, "Is there something that we need to know that's going to affect the company?" And she was just like, "I can't do it. Too much stuff been going on. If y'all need anything dealing with this company, y'all can contact him. He can be the one that's going to be the point of contact, because it ain't got nothing to do with me no more. Y'all do what y'all do, but I ain't going to be no part of it. Bye." And I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, also, Martell is at the house talking to his mama still. And like I said, she's very disappointed of the possible outcome, because she straight up asked him, like, what you think gonna come out of all this? He was like, well, hopefully we can be together, but worst come to worst, she probably gonna divorce me. She talking about divorcing me. She brought up a custody agreement. Like, you could tell how hurt his mama really is. Y'all, and the last thing that happened was Melanie being done with everybody and said all she had to say. She's all cried out. She done called a divorce lawyer and was like, unfortunately, Martell's time has lapsed. And so he was like, oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. And she was like, go ahead and get that paperwork ready and file it. I'm tired. So, in all honesty, I feel like this is the plot line. The money that got good to him, and I feel like the two of them are gonna stay together. If anything, Marceau and Letitia might end up splitting up a little bit. I don't know, because he is very hard-headed. I feel like especially what I saw will happen from the preview, like, it's too much. Sometimes it takes something traumatic for people to learn, but I don't know how that's gonna go. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this recap. I will see y'all later on for something else.